Welcome back to Katie Pavlich Tonight. Well, for years, many Western nations have allowed millions of third world immigrants to cross their borders, including many who have no interest in assimilating into Western culture. They bring their own set of beliefs with no regard for the rule of law in their new homeland. We see this every day in America, and DHS is working hard to capture the worst of the worst, like sex traffickers, child molesters, murderers, and more. But these same types of people have infiltrated the United Kingdom, making this an important warning to everyone across the pond. A recent report by a member of parliament called the Rape Gang Inquiry exposes grooming gangs and the sexual exploitation of young British girls, mainly by Muslim Pakistani men. The report tells the story of girls who were pumped with alcohol and drugs, repeatedly raped, trafficked, and tortured. It claims those in charge allowed these gangs to operate for allegedly several decades because it was deemed racist to call them out. The report estimates that the number of victims could be as high as 250,000 young girls. Now, one of those survivors is calling for accountability and looking to make a change so no survivor ever feels silence again and to prevent future victims. Earlier, I got to speak with Sammy Woodhouse about her experience and her role in helping oversee the Rape Gang Inquiry. Thank you so much for being here today, Samantha. It's great to see you. So we're going to get into some of the details of this horrific report, but you, of course, brought it to fruition, did a lot of the work on it because you unfortunately have experience of many of the victims in the report. Can you tell us about how you were groomed at age 14 and how it started?
Yeah, of course. So I met Arshad Hussain just after my 14th birthday on my local shop. He was 24 years old. He was known to police and social care at that time for being a very dangerous man. I wasn't the first child he exploited, and I certainly weren't the last. But I was abused for 2 years, mentally, sexually, and physically. I was also exploited to commit crime as well. I was missing from home for days, weeks, and months at a time, and I missed out on a lot of my education as well. I became pregnant twice, first when I was 14, and I was forced to have an abortion, but I was allowed to keep my second child. And I gave birth to him just after my 16th birthday. But within those 2 years, I was beaten, I was raped, I was abducted. And unfortunately, I saw a lot of professionals do a lot of bad things. You know, these were people that were paid to protect me and other children. They didn't. I saw police officers pass on information. They bought drugs from him. A Labour politician called Jahangir Akhtar was also related to him, and a police officer called PC Hassan Ali made a no prosecution deal with him. And what that meant was, on an occasion when I was abducted, they said to him, if you hand Sammy over at a petrol station, we will allow you to walk free. And that's exactly what happened. And that's how I actually exposed the Rotherham child abuse scandal. I named that Labour politician, the police officer, and the rapist involved. It commissioned a report called the Alexis J report, which showed that there was 1,400 children, just like myself, that was groomed, abused, raped, tortured, trafficked, criminalised, impregnated, murdered, and that the professionals turned a blind eye because majority of the offenders were Pakistani Muslim men. But it also opened the criminal investigation, which led to my rapist being put to jail for 35 years, which is now known as the biggest investigation in our British history. But that's where my activism started. I've been an activist now for 14 years. Raising awareness, changing policy, laws, securing funding for victims. And that's how I met Rupert Lowe and worked on the inquiry.
Right. So there's been a number of these horrific incidents. There is the report that is most recent is the Rape Gang Inquiry report, which you were instrumental in getting the inquiry off the ground, getting it into the hands of MP Rupert Lowe, who helped to get it publicized. It's now been translated into a number of different European languages so people understand the gravity of it. It alleges that 250,000 young British working class girls were sexually abused, groomed, trafficked by, as you said, Muslim Pakistani men who were allowed into the country going back to the 1950s. So tell us about this inquiry and where it goes from here, because this has happened before, and it, as you just explained, blind eye was turned by the police, by people in power, by elected officials, and now we are here with this horrendous report that when you read through the details, it it's a complete betrayal of the British people and their daughters by the government.
It is, absolutely. Now, this inquiry is the first of its kind in regards to it being a public-funded inquiry. So MP Rupert Law set up this inquiry because the government refused to. You know, we had people such as Elon Musk highlighting this. So Rupert set up the inquiry, 20,000 people within our country donated and made sure this inquiry could happen. I think we're now on we've raised about £700,000. We had 2 weeks hearings in London where we saw survivors, family members and whistleblowers testify. Our report has just been published. We've already opened criminal investigations because of our inquiry. We've also started legal action against dozens of services such as the police forces and the council to ensure that victims get compensated because their life has just been absolutely destroyed. And we're going to go on, or at least Rupert is, he's going to use his parliamentary privilege to name people involved and bring private prosecutions. So our work is far from over. We've got a lot to do, but we're very determined to keep pushing forward. And no doubt our government will make this very difficult for us.
The report found 250,000 victims. How did you get to that number?
Well, that would be a very low number, in my opinion. Now, I don't know if you're aware of a solicitor called David Greenwood. He was actually my solicitor, but he released a dossier saying that 72,000 cases just in Bradford alone. So, unfortunately, we'll never know the true number because our government haven't been keeping the data. They've not even been collecting the data of, you know, the race and the religion of perpetrators. So what we've done is we've looked at the data throughout different towns, and that's how we've been able to come up with the estimate. But as I say, in my opinion, there will be a lot more victims. Now, what you've got to remember when those reports have been coming out, such as the Alexis J report, they've only been going back to like the 1990s. We've gone back to 1950s. So can you imagine the absolute scale you know, of what's been happening?
Well, the inquiry report is available for everybody to read themselves, and everybody should, to see what has happened. And we look forward to seeing what happens in the future. Thank you, Sammy Woodhouse, for being here tonight and discussing this horrific situation with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.